All right, we got another mess on the bench, so you know we're getting ready to have some fun. And today we're going to modify this throttle body, which is just a stock 46 millimeter throttle body. Kind of a proof of concept, if you will. I could always do this again if I wanted to. We're going to have an idle air control valve, which is over here. The VW ones that I always see recommended are pretty large in regard to the hose size like that. If you measure the outside of this, it's actually about 7/8. And then this is closer to 5/8, but I'm going to split the difference and go 3/4, and or this actually might be 3/4. I'll have to look it up. But nonetheless, so I've got some 3/4 inch hose here and some fittings. And when you look at the throttle body on the backside, the way it works stock, the AIS would normally go right here. There is a port ahead of the throttle body right there, and from behind the throttle body blade, the air, whether it be boost or vacuum, can come in here, and then the stock AIS plunger would normally stop it from going out or open up to allow it to go out on the other side of the throttle body. I mean, essentially causing a vacuum leak to help control the idle.
As is often the case, I had to make some changes to the original plan and didn't get some footage of it. I'd originally planned to use the bottom boss on the throttle body like I said, but there just wasn't enough room down there for that. I ended up drilling and tapping another hole in the two-piece intake manifold to get the vacuum source.
Okay, here's our top half of the two-piece intake, which is where I'm going to take the vacuum source for this. I could have gone off the back side and what have you, but I elected not to do that because it'd be a little closer to the firewall than I'd really like, and you got the hose running over the turbo and everything else. And right here we have the boss for the original EGR. So I'm going to drill and tap that just for 3/8 MPT. Frankly, in case this doesn't work out, 3/8 would be the easiest to do. And then we'll go ahead and take that off and make it 12 AN, which is just ridiculous. This whole thing, honestly, guys, if I were to do this again, 100% I'd get the gold box just for the fact that it's got the stepper motor idle control available, and that'll save you so much time and effort and be relatively seamless. So enough complaining, let's get down to it.
Drilling and tapping the bottom of the two-piece intake was straightforward. I marked a spot where there's the boss for the EGR valve on the California cars and the 86 GLHS. Then I just drilled and tapped it for 3/8 MPT. I decided to use a 10 AN fitting with a 90-degree 10 AN to 3/4 inch hose adapter. That worked out very well in the end. Up next was the actual modification of the throttle body. I am not at all the world's best welder, but at this point, I can make a weld which will hold boost all day long. The 12 AN fitting on the side was a real doozy in the area where there wasn't much room between the fitting and the throttle body. I really needed a larger cup for more stick out, but I made it work even if it made it kinda ugly. Filling in the large gap on the back side of the throttle body seemed like it wouldn't be too bad, and after my first pass, it seemed like it also wouldn't be pretty, but it would end up being functional. I like to periodically dip the tungsten in the weld pool for added strength and heat resistance, and in so doing, the arc shot over and nipped away at the inner lip on the bore. I was full pedal and that piece really didn't know what hit it. I was actually having so much fun filling in that big gap that was going pretty well, so I decided to just let it ride, and I feel like it didn't look too bad in the end. Certainly, it was a lot better looking than the AN fitting on the outside, which you can actually see. I was a little proud with the amount of weld where I tried to fill in the lip of the throttle body. That required me to spend a couple minutes with a file to get everything flat again. In the end, this is a great way to accomplish this modification, though as previously stated, I'll be avoiding this situation like the plague in the future. It's a total pain in the rear versus just using the stock AIS. I did get the 2-wire pulse width modulated Bosch type sensor working quite well, but at the same time, why do that and have to route all these hoses if you don't need to? Well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any video suggestions, post up in the comments. If you'd like to come over and help clean the garage, that'd be great too. We'll catch you again soon.